All right, we're recording. Hey, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's the first Saturday in March. We're in a new month, March 1st today. Super excited to be here. Hope everybody had an amazing week. Just going over to opening up our chat as well. The chat is open for those who want to post their questions and thoughts and gratitudes if you don't get on the mic when we get to that portion. So the chat room is open. If someone's looking for it, please help them out as well. And we're going to get right into the intro and the housekeeping. So just as a gentle reminder, we still have the study buddy links going in the main Recoupers group. So we have two folders in there. One is called the Study Buddy Connect, where you do no questions and answers. And another one is called Recoupers Approved Affiliated Groups. And that group, that folder is for all of the study buddy groups that are there. Any other groups that are affiliated with Recoupers is there. That's where you would go find them. If they are not affiliated with us or if they have violated any Recoupers code of conduct, then we will remove them and I will post a comment there. But all of the groups that we are affiliated with are in that folder. If there are any discrepancies or any issues, please let us know and we will address those accordingly to the admin team. And we appreciate you. Also, if you have anybody soliciting from you that is part of Recoupers, because I've been getting DMs from people saying that people are soliciting, but they're not part of Recoupers. So I can't do anything about that. So I would just suggest if someone's calling you, don't answer the call or change your settings on Telegram. So you can't get calls from people that are not in your contacts. There's only so much we can do as the admin team to kind of help navigate that for you or protect you from all the trolls and the scammers and the spammers and all of that. So if we just work together as a community, do your part, change your settings on Telegram to only people that your contacts can connect with you, that would help out a lot and minimize those solicitations that you do not want. And as a reminder, no solicitations are allowed in Recoupers. No links to your group, no links to or asking for people's emails. No, you can post videos, you can post messages, and if you want to share or show support to your fellow community member, then do it inside of the folders. Do not ask people to DM you for a video or any documentation you want to share. You need to do that inside of the group. That's where we can help support one another and you're not pulling anybody out in order to put them in a private setting with you. So it's just the way that we run the group to kind of help put some guardrails in place. And so if anybody's soliciting you, asking you to DM you so that they can help you with the process, you just got to DM me. I would be leery of those, but we're all adults. You're welcome to make up your own mind. Just know that Recoupers is not responsible for any of those things. So we are a community. We're here to learn together, grow together, thrive together, execute together. So I hope you guys appreciate all that you guys, well, I appreciate all that you guys do in the group, all the members that come in on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, and just ask questions, show support, all of the things. So I'm really, really grateful. I'm constantly monitoring the folders as well. So this is the time on our Saturday where we come in, we do our gratitude, we do our insights, our testimonials, and we just have a good time. Jeremy is not here this week, today, because he's not available, but we're going to carry on with our regular agenda. And after I finish talking, we're going to jump right into our prayer, and Kay Marie's going to do that. And it's also posted in the chat. So if you want to follow along or you just want a copy for yourself, our Father, Art in Heaven prayer is in the chat as well. So with further ado, Kay Marie, would you like to do our prayer, please?
Yes, ma'am. And I'm just looking for the chat real quick. Give me a second. I believe it's right. Hold on. Where is the chat here? Someone put a star in there. Here we go. There it is. I found it. Okay. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever, all and equal. And my gratitude for this week is the two new Recoupers Studs and Buds groups that we created. I'm going to pop those into the chat here in a moment, but I'm grateful for the people who continue to show up on the live TikToks with me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, finding each other, guiding each other back into the tents where the information is found and available 24/7. Come out of our My People library, RECOUPERS library, all the different study buddy groups, libraries, everyone there is there to help one another. The study buddy groups are not classrooms. They are simply, like Heather just said, places where you can meet up with people in your localities, help each other out with the information that you're finding. If it's useful for you, great. Depending on where you're at in your processes, we're here to help. And, this admin team and the leadership team here, I'm just super, super grateful for everybody who's constantly giving their time, attention, and energy to this labor of love, which we have found ourselves popping up tents in different states and different areas. And of course, we know that Mam Inc. has opened up one that's supporting veterans. And feel free to help and assist her in helping veterans. And she just posted that link in the tent. And then, of course, we have Grandma Millie, who's helping our seniors, those people who are just now coming into the fold, looking for their own partners to study up with and brush up on the information to continue to get their ducks in a row and start to help manage their own family estates and trusts and records, et cetera. So thank you so much, Heather, for hosting today. And thank you, Jeremy, for creating this amazing opportunity and a place where we can meet on the norm and the regular. And anybody who hasn't, who's here today, who hasn't listened to at least one of the RECOUPERS live recordings, I highly recommend grabbing the transcript and the audio and the recording, and feel free to fill yourself up with lots of spiritual energy and love, listening to members of our community that are constantly coming forward with sharing up to the minute insights, progress, and testimonials. So much can be garnered from listening to those RECOUPER replays. I highly recommend it. Great support materials for everybody. And back to you, Honorable Heather. Thank you again for hosting today.
Sure. Thank you, K. Marie, for that prayer and for that moment of gratitude. We appreciate you. So now this is where Days manages where you raise your hand and you ask to come onto the mic and you give your gratitude. And after a little while of giving your gratitude, we'll open it for a little bit of Q&A and all of that. But always start out with gratitude. Please do not jump in with just your questions. And just let us know what happened in your world this week, what you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be about RECOUPERS. It doesn't have to be about a particular process, but whatever you're grateful for. So we can keep the spirit high, keep the energy high, and just operate from a place of love and a high energetic space. So who's on the line that wants to come up, Days, and give their gratitude?
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Heather and Kim Marie. And yeah, that's the formula, guys. This is it's kind of like a call-in show type format that we like here. So we got to get people from the gallery raising their hands. And just a reminder that the plan is to do a 2-hour session. So don't miss your opportunity to jump up on stage. If anybody's unmuted already and would like to say anything, please do now while I wait for some people to raise their hands. All right, here we go. Let's just throw it to James. Freaking legend. Welcome, James. Unmute yourself. How are you doing?
Thanks, Days. I'm so grateful for you.
Right back at you.
Dude. I'm just super grateful for Kim Marie and Jeremy and Mam Inc. and Laureen and Christina Fall. I mean, I could just keep going down the line, right? Because we are all in this together, and I just want to say to everybody that we are pioneering new land. Like, we are the pioneers. we are staking our claims by what we're doing. And don't just think that what you're doing is just rescuing your family. Everything you do has an impact on everybody around you. It's about changing the lives of other people around you by what you're doing. And yesterday, I'm gonna share a testimony. I had submitted my my CP 575 on an LLC that I have, and I got my green card back that they received it. And so I went ahead yesterday and I filed an A and two Bs on the IRS system, and they were accepted. And it's pretty amazing, seeing what we're able to do and what we're able to not just recover, but what we're able to create with the knowledge that we have. And just being able to get back 24% of a dollar under $1 billion, just the amount of lives that we're going to be able to change and impact with that is incredible.
Thank you so much, James. And yeah, keep us updated on that little storyline there. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, we'll definitely let you guys know how things work out. I want to throw it over to Christina now. Thank you again, James.
Thanks, Stace.
Crazy week this week. All right, here we go, Christina. Welcome, Christina. Please unmute.
Well, what a glorious Saturday morning. And I'm so blessed to be here and amongst all of you. And my gratitude is just one thing this morning, but I've got so many to say, and there's too many people to name that I have gratitude for that is in this group and that brought me to this group. But specifically, one of the things that's happened to me is that as a humanitarian and a healer, I've received so much support to remind myself to take care of me first, because there's so many people that I can help and feed and change with the monies that are going to be coming to me from this amazing recoupment process. So they're going to be blessed as well. But specifically, my ES&Vs, and I did a 1040 filing, and it's been approved, and so I'm super excited about that. My testimony is also with the trust, and I did a 1041 for a large $9 million return. That's not going to only just feed me, but many in my community. So I could go on all day with the gratitudes that I have, and just so blessed to be in this group with other people of like mind and light heart. So if you haven't gotten involved and you haven't paid yourself first, please do. There's plenty of testimonies all around that it is real, it is lawful, it is working, and it's due to you. So I'm just going to leave everybody with that and just say, get involved, take the plunge, and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, Christina.
Days, where's our applause loop, please?
Look, people are gonna have to physically.
Needs applause.
People are gonna have to physically clap. I don't have the sound effects set up, but there you go. There it is.
Thank you, Christina.
All right. I want to encourage the gallery to participate in our glorious session today by raising your hands. If we don't get a certain level of engagement, we'll just shut this whole thing down, and that's going to be on you. So we're going to throw it to Sonia. Unmuting right now. Welcome, Sonia. How are you? Please unmute.
There we go. Hello, everyone, and thank you to my RECOUPERS family here. I'm super grateful. I actually just got back from the post office today and got some love letter mail. Been working on some things for my husband and with the 1099 ABB process, and all of those got accepted. And it's in regards to child support case for those of you out there pursuing that. And it's just the first part of the ones that we are sending, but all of them got accepted. And we did some ES&V stuff for his 1040 return, and the letter I just got, I didn't even put the B's on that yet. I'm actually waiting to do an amended with that because I didn't want to muddy up the return process. I only did ES and V's on his, and we got a letter back that they're just looking for him to basically identify himself. So we have to set up an appointment at, I think it's the TAS office or whichever, and for him to do that with them to verify himself, because, and I'm thinking because he hadn't filed returns previously for years now. And so, because I know that a lot is on got to be on his record there with them, and they've got a lot that's going to be going through, but it's looking like it's all going to be accepted because they specifically said for him to get the return that he just needs to come in with 2 forms of identification, and it's looking up. So I'm super grateful for that, and grateful every day for our family here, and the support we get. And I know how much it can be overwhelming sometimes with information overload for people, but I just encourage you to keep pressing on and keep studying. And if you're confused about something, just take a step back and look at it again, read on it again. And when you feel it in your soul and you know that you're moving in good faith with clean hands and it feels right, then take the step forward. But never, ever, ever do any of these processes until you are confident in the way that you know what you're doing. Because if you are not moving forward with competence, it can become very frustrating and overwhelming and make you give up. So that's just my word of encouragement to those of you that have been going through it. Don't give up and keep pushing through, because the light is there at the end of the tunnel. I yield.
Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, and I guess by the time you get to a point where all the paperwork's been filed and all that's left is, oh, we just want to verify that you are who you are, that's actually a good thing. The IRS is making sure that you are who you are, and that it isn't someone else doing this, behind your back. So that's good that you've even made it to that point. And certainly keep us updated. We're going to throw it next to Grandma Millie. Michael, you'll be next. Welcome, Grandma Millie. How are you today?
I'm good. Grand Rising, everybody. Super excited this morning. I just wanted to share that I started my journey in August, and it's been a roller coaster ride. I like roller coasters; they're good. But even more importantly, the more that I stay involved on a daily basis, the more I start to understand. I've never been so excited to receive love letters from the IRS in my entire life. I filed a 1040 return that was far more than what I expected, And now I'm just waiting for the love letter to verify my identity, and it'll be released. These processes work. Have I seen anything monetized? No, but I know it's coming soon. I've been manifesting that for months. I have 100% faith in the process and what's going on in Recoupers and these individual groups, and the study buddy groups are amazing. I found a few people that I love to work one-on-one with together so we can have a better understanding of what we're doing. When I first started, I didn't understand. The only thing I understood was that we've been swindled our entire lives. And they want to continue to swindle us until really the day we die. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone, but I quit my job at almost 63 so I could devote my time to this movement, this redemption, the recoupment. And it does get frustrating at times because it is information overload. But sometimes when you step away, these light bulbs start to go off, and you realize that you're starting to understand what you're hearing. I think we're very blessed to be here. I know I was guided here. And all of the entire team, Kim Marie, Jeremy, Dr. Heather, the people Stephen Palmer, Days. Oh my God, Days has a full plate, that's for sure. My gratitude is endless. It's almost hard to express in words. Am I obsessed with this? Yes, but I think that you have to be a little obsessed. I know that my source, God, whatever you choose to call that for yourself, has guided me here. And I'm going to stay here, and there will be success. Successes are happening every single day. Every single day, this is getting easier and easier for us because we learn more and more, and we discover the keys that keep the gate open, right? I mean, we don't want any more gatekeepers. I'm grateful. Thank you for bringing me up, Days. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Grandma Millie, and we appreciate you. You're a beacon in this community, so thanks for sharing that. Michael, I got you lined up. Kiambu, you'll be next. Welcome, Michael. Please unmute. All right, Michael, I'm going to throw it to Kiambu.
Okay.
Oh, there you are. Welcome.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
So first, I'd like to thank everybody in this group, the admins, everybody that takes their time to sort this information, put it in the right groups. And I just wanted to say something that kind of stacks on top of what Millie just said. I've done a lot of these processes, and I'm very confident in what we're doing, and I've been following closely and working very hard. But I had some windshield time yesterday afternoon. I was driving to pick up my grandson, and I was listening to one of my groups and what they're doing, and I had a kind of, not a moment of doubt, but I had something that there was a question in my mind that the enemy allowed to creep in. So, and my group was quickly to let me know, hey, we keep the vibration up in here. We understand, they have, what Millie said, they have taught us. We've grown up in this indoctrinated system that they have us in, and we're having to forget everything we know and relearn. But what my group quickly taught me was, hey, we're here to help you. We're here to help each other. You're going to have doubts in some of the things you do when you don't get the right information or you get a love letter, but don't dwell on it and use your group. This group that we're in is exceptional at picking you back up if you feel like you get isolated, which we can often do when we're doing this, because at the end of the day, we're doing this ourselves and we have to stand on it. And sometimes it's isolating. So my encouragement would be to everybody out there that has a bad day or has some thoughts that, hey, well, maybe we're not doing this right, or the fear that they tried to instill in us, the boogeyman, is to lean on this group, because this group will pick you up. And that's all I had to say.
Thank you so much, Michael. Kiambu, I'm going to unmute you right now. General reminder for people to raise their hands and get on deck so we can keep the momentum speedy here. Welcome, Kiambu. Please unmute.
Hey, well, okay, thank you, and I just want to give a shout out to everybody in this group. This group is a blessing, and I want to give thanks to everybody from 903 Jeremy, Kim Marie, and the whole staff, Heather. So I just want to give gratitude to that. And I just want to say that this week, me and my wife we made an appointment to the TAS in our area in Brooklyn, New York, and I got a love letter for 2024 tax return that I did, and I got it on my transcript. And I just want to say that my 1099As finally showed after summertime of last year, and sometime in December of last year, they finally showed. So I'm super stoked about that. And anyway, we went down there, and then I had an appointment with an agent, and I got a love letter. And on the transcript, it said I had a 810 code refund freeze. So the letter stated that I needed to provide documentation, W-2 and whatever. I did this electronically, so I didn't have a letter intent indicating that this is a 1099B filing only. This is not a W-2. This is just that. So as the interview or whatever I needed ended, I had some filings that I had to present. So I gave her the 2848, 8821 in person. She stamped it and gave it back to me. And then I told her about this 2024, and I showed her the love letter, and I said, hey, they asked me for documentation. And the documentation I have is this mailed in 1099B that I did. So she said, let me see this 1099B. Let me go to the back. So she went to the back, spoke to her supervisor. So she said, okay, we'll take this. So she stamped it next to the letter and stapled it together and gave me a copy of it. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that it will go through and release the refund that I'm owed. And that will be enough to, suffice. So I just say, just trust in the process. And I have full faith that it will work. And I've been having it the whole time ever since I joined this group. So anybody that has doubts, don't doubt. It's just, these guys are here to help. They're not here to hurt. And I'm just grateful to be a part of this group. So I just want to let you know that the IRS is not totally your enemy. You know what I mean? They are here to help if they know what process you get into. You're going to get some that don't know. But at the end of the day, if you go speak to these people and you tell them, hey, this is my situation, these guys will help. And I think that getting on the phone, sometimes you're not going to get the answers. They record every call that you make, and you always have to keep calling back because you are not agreeing with the answers they give. But if you go to the office, 9 times out of 10, you'll get a better experience than a person on the phone. That's just for me. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, just to have high hopes on it. And I yield.
Thank you, Kiambu. And yeah, I'm familiar with that letter you're talking about. It's like, I think because that particular letter, it mentions a handful of forms, right? But I don't know if they're necessarily tailoring it to each person's situation. They're just kind of throwing out a net. It's like, hey, if there's any W-2s, 1099s, whatever. But in your case, it was just like a single 1099. And all you can do is just do exactly what they're suggesting is the next step. So good job in just keeping chill and doing exactly what the correspondence said. Okay, we're going to chuck it over to Sunra. Welcome, Sunra. And please, audience, get some hands up so I can go to someone next. Welcome, Sunra. Please unmute.
Greetings. How are you? And how's everyone today?
Doing well.
Excellent. First, I'd like to just give thanks to the Most High. Give thanks to Kali Ma, Jaja Ra, and Lakshmi, and our Jubilee. I've been following for some time, and I've done the 1040ES and 1040B. I even got confirmation returns, and the acceptance, rather. Um, and the reason why I haven't spoken before and given this type of energy is that I just never been motivated to really share because I never knew what to say. And when I listen to people and they have doubt about anything they're doing, I always want to feel like I want to reach out and say, hey, it's going to be okay. And when I first heard Kim Marie in her 10-hour or 9-hour session, um, it was right after my mom transitioned. And it was like she sent Kim Marie to me. And it was interesting because so many spiritual things that were aligning in the conversation. It wasn't even so much about the process for me. It's just about the community, the vibration, and the energy. And I may not ever get the so-called mana, but I already feel like I have the mana just being in the energy field. And I want to share and give to people that, we can take a different perspective on how we're looking at things too, because we have the power to project, co-create, and enhance. So as we're looking at what may be called difficulty, we could just look at it as a challenge and opportunity. And if we could look at terminology and how we express ourselves and how we want ourselves to be reflected, I feel, I see, I know that the transition and the path will become brighter and so much clearer. Because if we remember, there is no darkness, there's just degrees of light, and we are the light bearers. And I give thanks.
Hallelujah.
Excellent.
Hallelujah. Thank you so much for that. Beautiful.
Yeah, really good stuff. Thank you for sharing with us, and please keep coming back. We gotta go over to Gwendolyn. Come on, guys, we gotta go to Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, welcome.
Love rising, everyone. I'm so thankful today. I'm just bubbling with abundant joy because I heard Grandma Millie talking about she early retired herself at 63. Well, Grandma Millie, I early retired myself at 53 about 2 years ago on this journey. But first, I want to give thanks to the leadership here, from Jeremy to Dr. Heather to Kim Marie to Days and everyone else that makes this space possible for us, for the blessings and the mana that we will be receiving. So I have a mana testimony. I just wanted to share. I'm just thankful for first Jehovah Jireh, our provision. That is what has been burning in my spirit and my soul for uh, a very long time. And I'm just thankful for the journey and that I've been on, because in January 2023 was my 53rd born year. That's when I early retired myself. I was in corporate America in Houston, Texas, working in oil and gas, because that was the milestone or I wanted to reach. Coming from Louisiana at 37 years old, I said, I've done everything I can career-wise here. Now I want to go work in oil and gas in Houston, Texas, because that's the big hub for that, right? So God granted me the grace and favor to go through that 2012, and so I went 2012 to 2023. I heard a call from God. He was like, because every job I've had, I've promoted myself. Pro- I didn't wait on companies to promote me. I just found the next job that would promote me, to take care as a single parent raising one daughter. And so I heard the call. So that's what I was trying to say. So whenever I would leave jobs, I totally exhausted the little 401k I built up while I was there, right? As a single parent living on that, just living on those fumes. But anyway, so I heard the call January 2023. I heard God tell me, are you ready to learn how to live off my mana every day what that's all about, like in the Bible with the children of Israel in the wilderness. And God said He gave them the manna every day. And He gave specific instructions. You only take what you need for that day. You don't store any for another day or any of that. You just take what you need for that day. So I've been living those principles and it's been such a blessing. So I heard Him give me the call. Do you really want to continue building someone else's dreams in corporate America? Or are you ready to build your dreams for my kingdom here on earth and learn how to live off my daily manna? I said, well, that's that's a no-brainer for me. I was like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. So I early retired myself. Exhausted that last 401k, right? Because I knew better things were coming. I knew the provision was there because it's always been there for me. I've never had a need of one of anything, but whenever I did have that corporate America paycheck, I've always been gifting or just helping others, giving it away, food pantry. If anyone needs food or shelter, I was the one taking them in. My daughter never had her own room till she got almost grown out of high school. If someone had a need, I was like, okay, you can have shelter here, you can have food. I did couponing because I wanted to bless people. So all of my money at that time, that's where it went. And so, because I always knew it would come back to me because Jehovah Jireh provides. So that's been my life story. And when I heard the call and I left corporate America, and I just can't tell you how blessed I have been with the provision, the daily manna that I have received from that day to where we are today. And I've just recently had bank accounts closed on me. And when that happens, I don't really have a lot of bank, and I have Bank of America, a little account, and I had a lot of prepaid accounts or whatever. But when they start closing them, I had two cash apps. They just closed. My Bank of America closed. I was like, okay, what's this about? Well, I know I can go do my ABVs now without them closing my accounts because they're already closed. Hallelujah. But anyway, so I only have broker. I got broker at Merrill Lynch, Fidelity, and Charles Schwab. So I'm set up there or setting up camp there as needed if I need them for anything. But it was just amazing when I saw the accounts closing. I got excited. I said, oh, that means something so much greater is on the way. So that's how I look at everything. I just want to encourage everybody. Yes, this information can be overwhelming at times. I had to leave corporate America because I was mentally exhausted of building someone else's dreams. And so now that I'm walking in what God is calling me for at this point, it's just so much better. And I can balance my energy. I can balance it to build his kingdom here on earth. And I'm just so excited because the provision that's coming for us, it's going to blow your socks off. So I just get so excited of where we're headed and what the doors that are opening up for us. The access has been granted. And the last thing I just want to declare today, this 2025 is my year, my born year of 5-5. And this whole year, I'm just declaring over everybody abundance, double grace, and every blessing that's coming your way will be loud and clear for the 5-5. So I just want to share that with everyone and speak that over everyone because we have such a very sacred space here, and we just need to protect it at all costs. And I love you guys, and I yield.
Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. And I know firsthand just how hard you're working. I mean, you are just like you are in this game and you're making moves and you're helping everyone around you, and you're an absolute gem. So thank you for being a gem. Okay.
Sunray, can you close your mic? Because I see that it's still open.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something for the spiritual side of what Gwendolyn said, if I
Go ahead,
may.
honey. Go ahead.
Gwendolyn mentioned January 23rd after I had a chance to share. And I like to share with everyone on the spiritual side of this. January 23rd is my Earth Day. So there's a spiritual connection with information and awakening. I just want to give that to the crowd.
Thank you for that. I want to encourage everybody. We have 99 people on this call. I know you guys may have questions. You can come to the mic and ask your questions. All we're asking you to do is start with your gratitude. If you have any thoughts, you have any comments, you have any encouraging words, please just raise your hand and Days will release the mic or release you to order to speak one word after another. So, and also type your questions inside of the chat as well. So you have two ways in order to get your questions or your comments, or to where you can leave your comments or your encouragement is in the chat or live on the mic on the call. We do these every Saturday. So if you're not able to speak because you're at work or things like that, we totally understand. And you're just listening in. Awesome. But also be encouraged. You are able to open up to get on the mic and speak and ask your questions. I know a lot of people posting during the week. I can see the people that are posting and I can see them also on this call. So if you have questions, this is your opportunity. We don't necessarily have all the answers, but we're here to support and to encourage each other. So if you have something that you want to say, just come on a mic, give your gratitude, and then ask your question. Days, I yield.
Thank you so much, Dr. Heather. And yeah, let's get some people's hands up. We got Cornelius up next. Welcome, Cornelius. How are you, sir? Please unmute on your end and share with us. All right, Cornelius, you're still muted. I'll give you another second there. We're going to go to Emmy next. Let's just throw it to Emmy. I'm pronouncing that right, aren't I?
I answered both. It's fine.
There
My
you
given
go.
name is Emily, and I was called Em my entire life, and my
Got
husband
it.
calls me Em. So it is totally fine. You can call me. I will answer Emma even. So, good
Welcome.
afternoon, everybody. I am kind of new to this side. I've been in the 369 for a while, but I wanted to share my gratitude of just being so grateful for the family that I have found. I try to surround myself around people who have the same goals and the same, I guess, vibe, who are God fearing and who want to be better people. And I have found that in these groups. They, Kimmery and Days, Carissa, James, Gwendolyn. I mean, we go down the line of all these people who we build each other up, and that has really made this journey so much more exciting when you start dreaming again and start striving to have a better life for you and those around you. It becomes a journey that's not just about your family, but it's about helping others to have the freedom that comes with this. And I'm just truly, truly grateful. So grateful.
Thank you so much for that, Em. Cornelius, I want to give you another chance here to unmute if you want to. Welcome, sir.
I had to redo my settings for some reason. Well,
It's all good.
well, praise to the Most High, first of all. And then I just want to thank the group because everyone in here keeps everyone encouraged. Even when you have a tough time, you have different subjects. I know with me, because it's been a couple times and I got a couple things that's on my mind that's in a row, but everyone's here always willing to help. And they keep you encouraged, even in the darkest times. So it's not just about the money, because we all go through things in our personal lives and things like that. And no matter what there are, it's someone in this group that's there to encourage you to move forward and maybe help you out of certain situations. So I just want to thank everyone, the admins and all that, for all the encouragement that they always preaching over everyone, because it really does help. So I just want to thank everyone.
Thank you, Cornelius. And I just want to say, when we start doing these streamings, we've been working on in the 369 tent, you guys were working on we're the party planning partners tent, right? We're working on the reunion, the grand reunion for all of us to meet together between now and May, Memorial Day. And I just want to say, I vote for you, Cornelius, to be one of the radio DJs, okay, along with Days, because both of your voices bring me so much comfort. I'm constantly giggling at Days because of his delivery. He is just so mannered in his ability to bring logic and wrap up things in a really perfect bow for us. And then Cornelius, I don't know if you've ever been told this, but your voice is so comforting. It is so beautiful. I always look forward to you coming to the mic. I think maybe we are related, but maybe even we were related in another project sometime, but I just want to keep encouraging you to come forward, brother, because there's something inside my soul when you speak. And I just thank you for continuing to speak and give your voice, all right, to all of us and share your walk with all of us and giving glory to the Most High. And Days, you know how much I love and appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim Marie. Thank you for that.
All right, guys. Okay, so good vibes today. All right, let's just throw it to whoever's currently unmuted. Does anybody have anything in particular they want to chime in about? We got, how many people we got in the group right now? Just under 100. We particularly want to encourage people to share their testimonies. Make sure that those are put out into the zeitgeist. I don't know. I guess I could just start unmuting people randomly. I don't know. What do you guys want to do here?
I'd like to add to some of the testimonies about something I didn't share, which was no gatekeeping. I've been on this journey for years, and so many of the other groups that I participated in, they weren't 100% transparent. And so you got nuggets here and there, but you didn't have the map. You didn't have from beginning to end. And that is my testimony that I've received within this group is transparency and beginning to end. The other thing about this group that's just beyond the treasure, and that is that there's no monetary expectation from anybody in the group. There's never been an ask for it of any kind. It's just pure giving from the heart. And that is priceless. And if you're not taking advantage of that, if you're not investing your own energy and time for that, then I'd say shame on you. Because this is a very, very unique group. And I just love you all who've given through your heart. And I want to say gratitude on my side because I've received. And I just atone and wish that I hope that in my giving and my sharing that others are also receiving, because that's the intent of where we're going, is that there's an exchange, right? A love energy exchange. It's not always equal, but it's an exchange, right? So that's huge. It's really huge. So take advantage of it and be part of it. And I yield.
Thank you for that. And yeah, if I could say one more thing before we go to the people we have lined up next, it's like, I would like to say that, I think that is one of the unique things about this little network we're building here is it's very much like a no more gatekeeping network, right? And people certainly must already understand like this this kind of policy is a threat to many people out there who are operating their little business models, right? So just keep that in mind. Like there are a lot of people out there who are not happy with what we're doing, sharing information, helping each other freely. So, just wanted to say that. Let's throw it over to Denise, and then Carissa, you will be next. Welcome, Denise.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I have a gratitude for God giving me a warrior spirit and a servant's heart. And everybody, the leadership and this group, we're all kind of earth angels to help everybody. So I'm very grateful for that. And I do have a question, if that's all right.
Sure.
Okay. I was wondering, so I sent in my trust, the Holly Trust, and in that trust they put the blue card person. And I was wondering, since the non-decedent letter went with that, does that create a tax exempt thing situation? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. So let's see, who is this that's talking? 1 second. Let me run up to the top.
Denise Black.
Oh, hi, Denise. Okay. So Denise, just give me real quick your understanding of what tax exempt means to you currently.
Well, it just means if we're living, they can't tax the living being. That was my understanding.
Right. Okay. So perfect. So the other half of that map is we've always had right, title, and interest to recoup, though. We just had to raise from the dead first, right? So yeah, everything you did was proper and appropriate. Now you get to do the B's, fire off all those B's if you like. You get to report the building of the generational wealth, what we call assets, right? An exempt entity is what we call a holding tank or a holding bank or a holding escrow, right? So you've simply told the Treasury that there's a competent person who's come forward to be of the age of majority, who's able and aware enough to contract, right, with the Treasury. That's why we notified the AG, the SOS, and the Treasury, right? You got your green cards back and verified your identity, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now all you're doing is a gentlewoman gives notice that you're taking care of the family business in the state where you lay your head. So now the post protects your communications and your commerce by way of best practices, and you are now free to move about the cabin. You can grab a sole proprietor if you want. That is someone who also can report and file and recoup on behalf of the blue card person. Now your trustee of the living trust can also report and file and recoup on behalf of the blue card person. So you have essentially resurrected yourself, okay, corrected the record. You're now the living and you have the right to be protected in your papers, persons, and effects. And what is an effect? Every claim you send through the mail is now bona fide with clean hands, and it was administered by who? The owner, the principal, the one with the records. You have all the receipts now. We're operating in the office of the Christ, right? Coming forward in truth with clean hands and a pure heart, bringing our offering, right? So it's assisted you in being able to have, letting the proper authorities know, hey, no one else gets to use my blue card person in commerce now but me. So congratulations.
Okay, I just wanted another point of clarity. I got the sole prop, and I think one time you were saying the sole prop could pay the blue card person like the
Correct.
250,000. Well,
Yes.
once they pay that as a
Compensation.
W-2, right?
It could be a
Right, but it's
W-2,
going
it
to
could be an NEC. Yep.
Okay, so once we have that, I was filing like you suggested, I filed the free USA tax, and I left some cookies on the table just to get some provisions. But
Yeah.
so when I put if the sole prop pays the blue card, 250,000. So that's going to, on an NEC or whatever, that's going to go into that income. And then how are we going to offset that?
By attaching a Schedule C. Great question. Attach the
Okay.
Schedule C. Yep. And it's either your the person who's named on your Social Security card, or you may attach your sole prop now that is doing business, that is now able to pay and compensate retroactively even. You attach that Schedule C, okay? And then you would just go through your bank statements, excuse me, every outgoing unit of account that you shared as proceeds or contributions in your current marketplace where you do business or where you go get groceries or where you pay your electricity bill. All that offsetting is done on a Schedule C. And then they'll be able to do the accounting to say, she doesn't actually owe any taxes. If anything, the state she lives in owes her back her full ES&V credit amount.
Okay. And so in that Schedule C also, like, so now the
You can
trust
put
that
you can put contract labor. If you did ESs and Vs, you can put contract labor of 250,000 on the Schedule C.
Administration,
beautiful.
Denise. Administration of
Yes.
your estate.
Yes. And check this out. If you guys go down a little bit on the Schedule C, okay, and you see where it says legal, legal, professional services box. If you paid yourself daily, if you paid yourself weekly, if you paid yourself monthly, and if you paid yourself annually, aren't you the professional as the sole prop who performed those services for your blue card person?
Yes.
There's where you can chuck in there your little daily receipts that you've been diligently putting on your calendar.
I really like the
Excellent.
contract labor box on the Schedule C myself. Just saying.
Yeah. And those of you that did do a ES and a V, okay, and want to do a deduction Schedule C, you can. Also, if you wanted to, you could simply answer the question that Free Tax USA asked you. Was there a return due and owing to you for 2023? Meaning you didn't have any outstanding liabilities that you needed to adjust for. And would you like to move your 2023 return onto your 2024 return? You simply answer yes, and you'll notice that your tax return will jump to the amount of the ESs and Vs that you sent in via certified mail. It does take a while sometimes for those credits to show up, because when we send things certified mail, remember, it's an arbitration. It's a lawful ledgered event for a future recoupment drawdown event, right? And all we're doing is, for the first time, we're just reporting the facts that we have on paper in our records. So congratulations for walking it through for all of us now, Denise, so we can all glean from that knowledge that you just, brought forward for your own matter. Now we're all get to learn from your matter. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I yield.
I just wanted to add one thing to Denise. I know that you've been also on the Social Security end of things, and that too also will raise the Social Security up to a higher level now, because you're actually paying yourself back for everything that you have created as a blue card person, not coming in and zeroing everything out and living in poverty. And with that,
yes, and we're reducing the national debt by giving credit back where credit is actually due, which is to Denise's retirement fund. We're the ones, we're reducing the national debt while we're recouping at the same time, y'all. We have a duty to do this, to perform on behalf of our blue card, which, as you know, is a voiceless minor connected to, like a key, to our escrow account that's been held up and safe kept for us for all of our Esther moments as we're having them now in real time. So yes, thank you, Robin. And that just caused that to pop right out. So thank you.
Excellent. And let's throw it over to Ava. Welcome, Ava. Please unmute on your end, Ava.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Gotcha. Welcome.
Okay. Hey, thank you. First time on. I am new. I'm just learning all this, but I'm having some really problems of learning the 1040X and what I need to do or where I need to put my information. Is there anybody that could help me privately or help me on here?
Yeah. Which study group are you in, my love?
I don't know anything. I'm not in any study group. I need to know where to go.
Are you in RECOUPERS yet?
I think so, but there's so many different things. I would think I was in the wrong one. I think I was in Ohio and I need to be in Texas.
Oh, right. Because yeah, you're right. The picture looks the same. You're right,
Yeah.
sweetie. Sorry about that. In the RECOUPERS original group, okay, there is a 1040 and a 1040X where lots of people in there are studying together.
Right.
And absolutely. And I love it that you're working on it, but I also want to make sure that we're removing any obstacle that might cause any kind of a delay for you. So look, quick question real quick, okay?
Okay.
Have you in the past, filed a 1040 ES and a V for 2023 by chance?
No, I have all that right now together, and I was gonna sit in with it. Should I just go ahead and sit in the ES?
I'm so glad you said that. Okay, here, watch. Here's what you get to do now. Go ahead and send in the ESs and Vs where you were planning on sending those, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to get your green card back, okay? And then when it comes time for you to file for 2024, my lady, you get to move those credits. As soon as you see the tracking number and that it was deposited on their desk, you get to go file your free tax USA for 2024. And you get to scoop those credits up onto your 2024 return. No need to cause a delay for those cookies on an X because we're in fiscal year 2024 and that's who gets first priority, first in line, okay? Is the 2024 filers. So yeah, let's not get delayed by having to attach a 1040X when you've now benefited from discovery that you get to scoop those up as soon as the deposit happens on your receipt, okay? You get to scoop them on your 2024. And as a side note, several of us are gonna be hopping around these study buddy tents this week and doing a quick little assistance for just to get people jump started. Filing 2024 on your on Free Tax USA could not be a more empowering, peace of mind, giving you that confidence that we never really had before, being the captain of our ship and just answering all the questions truthfully and honestly, and letting our back office fiduciaries and trustees know that we are bringing forward an offering in good faith with clean hands, and our receipts are the record, are the law, which are the high office of the Most High Council, office of the Christ, right? We're bringing the light, right?
Right.
And it gets me emotional talking about it because I think the reason that you may have asked that question is because of the information that I dropped just a minute ago. And I think this bears repeating what we just went through with you. So I want to thank you for bringing it back forward so we could reiterate it, repeat it, say it in a different way, bring forward an ease forward on your path. And bless your heart for looking and trying to find the study groups and all that. And bless your heart for coming to the live where we're all here to support and help you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I will look for that. Oops, sorry. I will look for that group.
No, you don't need to find the 1040X group now, because you're just going to go ahead and send off your ESs and Bs. You've already done the work, right?
Yeah, I've got them all ready to go.
You've done the work. That's right. You've done the work, and you're just getting them sent into your cookie jar by way of money order. Okay. That's a money order, and the voucher, you're vouching for that you are who you say you are. You're the one who can send credits to your blue card person. You are the living, you are competent to contract, and we know the evidence of the contract is by way of the green card, right? So you're on your way to getting ready to file your 2024. If you feel inspired, feel free to do a 2024 ES&B and send that out separately, okay? Separate envelope, separate year, okay? Right. We don't want to confuse the bean counters, okay? Right. So since it's actually 2025 now, if you felt encouraged, you could do 2023 in one envelope, important tax document enclosed, right? Send it to the location where it says on the instructions to mail your money order, your payments. Okay, perfect. And then yep.
Oh, no, I was going to ask, how far can we go back?
I recommend waiting until you get cookies for 2024's tax return. Okay. Get your cookies in your jar, get your tax return in your bank account. And then you get to look into raising yourself from the dead, the non-decedent letter, notifying the AG and the SOS, so you can start doing Bs and you can go as far back as your age of majority.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I guess what I'm asking is, how soon can you do the ESs and Vs for, say, 22 and 21?
You can do those anytime, but I recommend you only stick with 23 and 24 right now, because we don't want them to be holding on to your records because they think you want to file an amended return.
Right.
Right. Okay. So we don't want to delay that. So let's wait for the past years until after you get your first return. Okay.
Okay. So,
but you're free to move about the cabin and go back as far as you want to. But I would just focus on 23 ESs and 24 ESs at the moment.
Okay. They're all ready to go.
Awesome.
So I just need to take them to the.
I wouldn't do 2022 or 2021, even if you've got them. I'd hold them back for now. Just hold them back.
Good.
Because often, yeah. So thanks for asking that, by the way. We don't want to cause undue delays. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad.
Thank you, Eva. Eva, we appreciate you. That was an amazing question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for helping me. I really, really appreciate it. And I love y'all, and y'all are doing such great things. And I have a little friend here that brought it to me one day, and I was just blown away. And now I have sat for a week or better printing everything for all my children.
You're doing amazing.
I need to learn this, and I'm learning, and I listened to that 9-hour call I've listened to it 3 times. And
that's awesome.
And so I'm trying
to keep up the good work, sweetheart.
I'm trying to learn it all, and you guys
it.
are so amazing, and I am truly blessed, and I thank the Lord every day for you guys.
Thank you for being here and answering your question. We really appreciate you.
And I do appreciate y'all, and thank you, Kim Marie. You're the best.
Kim Marie, I wanted to point out that you stated, because I know I've seen it in the chat as well under the ES topic, about you don't have to wait for it to show up on your transcript. As soon as whatever way that you have sent in your ESNBs and you get confirmation that it was received by the IRS, you can file your tax forms. I need y'all to catch what you said.
Yes. And you don't even have to wait for your green card to get back. You can track that number. And as soon as, when you go on USPS and you track the number, as soon as you see the delivery date and timestamp, you're off to the races. You don't even have to wait for the green card.
Because I saw people posting in the group asking about, well, what do I do now? How do I pull my credits up? This answers that question. If anybody's on this
Yes,
call,
ma'am.
this answers that question. You do not have to wait for it to be on your transcript. I mean, people say, oh, I did it in October, November, December. That's great. Go file your taxes. File your 1040, 1041, whatever type of ES that you did. File the relevant tax reporting form that goes with that. And go pull down your credits. And you don't have to pull down the whole thing. If you did $1 million, or if you did 500,000, you can pull down 100,000, 200,000, whatever you feel comfortable with. And you can also carry it over to another year, but that's another topic for another day. So, but you can go claim those credits now. So I want to encourage people and to pull that out of what you were just saying with Ms. Eva as well, that you don't have to wait. It's not about just the 1040X, what was her initial question. It was about the nugget that was in there for everybody on this call. If you ever mailed in an ESNV and you don't see it on your transcript, or if you do see it on your transcript, file your tax return for 2024 and 2023 as soon as possible. That's what K-Marie said. That was the advice she just gave. Go ahead.
Focus on 2024. That's the message. And everybody, that's a general thing.
Because they go back in those 22s and it is usually because what they're doing is they're seeing it like, oh, this is like a tax return that never got done. And so we put that in there, the pile back there. But right now, this year, this tax year is to April 15th. If you get it in and you get it on their desk, they're going to start, they are moving those this year. So do it in 2024. Draw those credits forward.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to throw it to Natanya. Welcome, Natanya.
Hello, how y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Yes. How you doing? I want to show my gratitude of saying thank you all. I appreciate the group. I thank God for me waking up every morning. Thank God for the group. I thank God for the insight, new education on a new level. So much information. So I'm thankful for that. But I also had a question that you all mentioned to draw down the credits. And I received personally a letter from the IRS to submit a W-2 or a form, a number of different forms that I can submit, 8832. It was just done to prove that.
Oh my God, we're having
Natanya, you have a lot of feedback, honey. You have a lot of
noise
feedback.
on your end.
You gotta stop moving or have the wind not come in. Yeah, stop
Yes,
moving.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes,
What I was
try
saying is
and keep it
that,
stabilized. Go ahead.
okay. Can you, okay. What I was saying, I received a letter from the IRS to bring or to submit a W-2 or forms to prove that I had made those wages for 2023. So what you're saying is that I need to do a 1040 to draw down on credits.
Well, we kind of had this question earlier. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Yeah, they're because you didn't do a Schedule C, let's say, you haven't filed the tax return for the Schedule C to show that you don't owe anything for that prior year. They're just asking for you to issue yourself a 1099 of your choice. So you can do an NEC, you can do a miscellaneous if you'd like. You can even file a W-2 for yourself for that year if you'd like. They just are looking to see if there's any tax liabilities that they need to offset that they may or may not need to report to your state. There's 12 states that have a cross-checking obligation. Mother, father, the state is considered the mother where they are keeping track of people who might be behind on their child support or what have you. So I don't want to speculate what your current personal tax issue is, but if they're asking you for a 1099, feel free to create that receipt and send them the recipient's copy. Okay. You're welcome to put, you can do an online fillable form. It doesn't even have to be electronically filed. You're welcome to do an NEC, put $1 in the compensation box and $250 in the withholding if you'd like. If you are feeling like you need to electronically file it, which I don't recommend, they're just asking for your receipt. So go online, pull up irs.gov, pull up a 1099 NEC, put $1 in the compensation box, and put $250 in the withholding box, because $1, as we know, buys unlimited credit in the system that we've been dropped into. This is our matrix. This is the game we're up to. We're learning how to play this game as the role of an authorized representative who is the avatar whose job it is to recoup and keep our little blue card ship from sinking, which is us. And we've never been paid because we didn't know we could pay ourselves. We thought we had to go out there and get on the rat wheel and let some other employer take credits out of our escrow account and pay us our labor and wages quarterly, right? And put it into our bank account, et cetera, while the banks are making hand over fist times 10 all day long. So I digress. But anyway, read up. You guys, everybody, please. It's just so you know, okay? It's come out of For My People on every single recorded live TikTok call since September. I have repeated this. It was my first 2 TikTok calls that are on the Loveberry right now on YouTube, where we went over all 37 1099s you get to use for your benefit now to create receipts of any kind that you need to show the Treasury that you are the receipt record keeper of record, right? You are the one in charge of your blue card person. We went over all 37, their form and their uses. So it's called, you download this, print it out, highlight all the different forms we've been talking about over and over again, we've been repeating about. It's called General Instructions for Certain Returns. General Instructions for Certain Returns. And it's the instructions that the winners, brokers, insured, participants, recipients, winners, I might have said that, but I'll say it again, get to study and learn. That's our Wheel of Fortune. Those 37 1099s are what we now get to fill out by hand. And the alternative is, if you wanted to put it on a napkin, you could. Your signature brings value to the napkin. But since we have the opportunity to use 37 different OMB forms, they're called red checks for a reason. Red means the living. So it's called instructions. Someone can pop it in the chat, please. But please, anytime you have a question and you've been asked by the Treasury, we need a receipt. They're saying we need your authorization, and you have to voluntarily put forward your receipt of any kind. If it's a calendar where you ledgered your work and your services that you provided for your blue card, make a copy of your calendar, put your day rate on there. That's a receipt. Go to Costco, go to Office Depot, grab a carbon receipt, yellow, pink copy. Print those out. If you have an Excel spreadsheet, print that out. You guys, it's all receipts, and they need your permission to settle the accounting for that year. All they're needing to see is that you owe nothing. And if you owe something, trust me, they will send you a pretty little bill called an assessment. which means this is how much your blue card is owed back. Not you, the living. You're just a trustee for the blue card person. So thank you for the record, and thank you for the love letter, and thank you for doing my accounting for me. And everything we're doing is bona fide. It is all with clean hands, and it's an offering. And it's they have a duty to perform, and their duty is to keep every record and every transaction that you've done in commerce, including your ESs and Vs. They keep it in a safekeeping deposit box in case you happen to become incapacitated and your heirs come forward to order a death certificate in your name because you've passed away. Now they have access to your bank accounts, your trust returns, and your tax portal. So they're just a backup of a backup, plan B. We're plan A. And we're the ones that we've been waiting for. We just didn't know it. We didn't know. We're operating in the benefit of discovery. We've discovered that we were the ones we were waiting for. We're firing all of these fake trustees, fake governments, fake corporate entities, fake treasuries at the state level, fake treasuries at the Washington, D.C. level, fake militaries, fake government institutions, fake welfare systems. All of them have been what's called a fiction or a de facto, a stand-in, until we would all come together and rise one day, because we were called to rise up and make our legacy our family business and our responsibility. You know, these dividends that are coming in for everybody, we have to, if you are working age, we have to show that we're working part-time somewhere in order to qualify for the $5,000 a month. Okay? So people will be getting dividends, but they don't want to crush the system. And they don't want to take people who are on the welfare right now, they don't want to take them off of welfare until there's been a relief or remedy provided for them. So here's your offering. Ready? Stay on welfare if you're disabled. Stay on welfare if you are retired and you still need the help and assistance of the welfare state. But if you're not disabled, if you're not receiving SSI and you're of working age, just go get a part-time job somewhere, contribute to your community somewhere, and you will begin to get the dividend checks of $5,000 a month. So that's what's coming. That's what's being broadcast in different news, different TikTok and X and all these different news platforms where people are sharing out the news voluntarily. Nobody's being paid. You don't have to subscribe to this, the Wall Street Journal to get the news that's in the Wall Street Journal that's mostly lies, right? You're actually getting the news and information from your own community platforms that you choose to participate in, right? So hopefully that answered your question, Natanya, and I do thank you for bringing it forward because I think it bears repeating.
Yes, you did. I thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you, sis.
All right, we got Stardust lined up next here. Guys, we got maybe like half an hour left. So let's close this out strong. Welcome, Stardust. Please unmute. Everybody else in the gallery, if you want to make your report, get your hand up. Welcome, Stardust.
Well, welcome to everyone, and God bless everyone, and thank you, Kimmery, for that, for saying what you told Denise Black, because I think that I am in the same vessel as she is on, and you gave me some clarity on some of the things that I was thinking about. But I wanted to share something that how I started in this journey. Back in May, I was contemplating retirement, but I kept doing the numbers and the numbers and the numbers, and I told myself there's no way that I can actually live on what I was earning, or I was going to earn. And I left it there thinking and praying that something would come to me. A month later, my son actually asked me to request my birth certificate because he needed to send it to the embassy in order to get a visa. And he calls me back and he tells me, Ma, they just told me that birth certificate's no good. And I said, like, what? And that started my journey. And I went on TikTok for the very first time, and there was Jeremy. And I have to say that I follow him, and I took a leap of faith and follow him, even though I didn't understand a lot of the things that he was saying. And one day I was listening, and you came up, Kimmery, and I was part of that 9-hour audio. And I really didn't know why I was there because everything seemed gibberish to me. But in that time, I felt that I needed to step back and get more information. And I did. And then one time I went back to TikTok and I asked a question. And there you were again. You said, go to Recoups and Telegram. And I have been here since then. I have contacted grandmother Millie, and there's a few others that I have contacted too, and they've been very, very helpful. So I thank you all for that. But last weekend, I worked two jobs as my husband had open heart surgery. And I had to take some of the income what he wasn't bringing home. So I not always can listen to what you say here or come to the groups or anything, and I feel that I miss out on a lot of it because I can't be on it. And last weekend, my husband decided to do the 1040s, and we did it without getting the memo of what we had to really do about the box 1 and box 25A and putting the credits from the 2023. And I felt that I missed out on that. And I was feeling gutted for the last few days. And so on Thursday, I came home and I found a letter from the IRS telling me that they had received my documentation and that they were working on it and they were going to take another 30 days or so to process and let me know what they were going to decide. But I also received phone calls from my state representative, from my state controller, and the person in charge of the Department of State in regarding to my TILA. So I thought, okay, so I think that there was a good thing for me that this was happening. And I told them that I hold them accountable and making sure that they look into this and make sure that these companies pay for what they did. So I just wanted to say that because it's kind of hard for me sometimes to be on here all the time. And I feel I miss out on a lot of the information that comes through. And when I do something, I feel that I didn't get to hear what I had to need when I have to fill out any documentation. But nonetheless, I try to get on as often as I can. And so I'm just gutted that I missed out on that 1040. I'm planning on doing an amendment, but I'm not sure how to do that one. So thank you for your time. Thank you for Andy for allowing me to join her group, and for Grandma Millie, Natanya. I've been speaking to Natanya as well, and Stephen has answered some of my questions as well. So I thank you all, and I thank you both, Jeremy and Kimmery, because every time I needed that sign, you guys were there. So I thank you for that, and I yield.
Thank you, Stardust. Heather, can you help her find where all of our recorded Recoupers live recordings are located? She may not know where that's at. Are you there, Heather? She's got it organized for you, Stardust, and I just wanted you to be able to find your way there. She calls it Recoupers Live Only Group, and in it, which you're in it right now, but there's actually the you see Recoupers Live Video Library, Stardust. That's where by date you can find all the last 5 of our Recoupers Lives, so you won't miss out on anything. Where most of the testimonies are happening in our Recoupers Lives on Saturdays for you. Okay, Stardust? Hopefully you can see that.
Okay, it's a little there's actually it might be better to go to the main Recoupers group because that one is 100% up to date. Just look for it in the Recoupers.
It says live links at the top, maybe live links, Telegram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. Is that the one?
No, there's a topic in the main Recoupers group called Recoupers Live Video Library. That's 100% record of every recording
live.
we've done.
It says live video library. Okay, let me look for it. Let's see here. Live video library. I gotta lay my eyes on it, Days. Oh, well, no.
About 2/3 of the way down.
I just found it. I'm going with her some videos now, the last 5 months.
All right, Natanya, your mic is really rough. We'll just keep going. Okay, we're gonna maybe someone can post that in the live.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go to Rhonda next. Welcome, Rhonda. Please unmute when you're ready.
Yes, thank you all so much. And I just first and foremost want to say thank you all so very much. You do not know from the bottom of my heart what this group means to me and the impact it has made. And it's almost like every other day a light bulb will come on. I'll listen to a recording and like this morning I left. My mother's health isn't the greatest. I drove 5 hours to her house and I used that time to listen to recordings and re-listen and a major light bulb come on at about 6:30. And I am just eternally grateful. Because sometimes people make you feel like you're out in left field. You know, I do want to share that a friend, we together did her 1099 ESs and Vs about 2 weeks ago, and she did receive confirmation with her green card. And then also she had received an email and a letter from the service saying, hey, we received it and we're working on it. So next week we are getting ready to file her 1040s for her to recoup and take care of some back taxes. My question today, maybe you all can help me, is you are talking about doing the ESs and the Vs on Free Tax USA. So we have done them where they're the full signatures. Are you saying because I'm getting ready to do mine, we're taking care of hers because she's had back taxes due, and mine, I don't have any of that, but we did all the signatures, of course, writing UCCs, everything on the ESs, Vs, but on the Free Tax USA, how are you e-filing those without a manual signature?
You can't.
All of that information.
You can't do that. You know, you can't submit that strategy through an e-filing on Free Tax USA.
Well,
right?
I didn't think so.
And that makes sense, right?
It's claiming it on Free Tax USA is what we're saying, what you've already done.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And my second question, I thought maybe something was going over my head, but thank you for clarifying.
Nope.
And,
you got
and
it.
then the second thing is this. My husband and I have a company. We do have a separate entity, and we have used professional CPAs. And I know that they're not as educated, because I have butted heads with them about certain things over the years and said, this is legit. I'm sorry. But so would you recommend, not that you legitimately would do this, but I'm really wondering, should I not even use a CPA? I'm getting ready to submit next week my ESs and Vs, and going to submit some things from the company for 2024 like this. But should I, and he does all of our schedules for us and everything, would it be better for me just to take care of it all myself?
I mean, look,
And
that's
any advice?
that's a
or
decision
suggestions?
that's a decision you're ultimately going to have to make yourself, and we don't understand the complexity of your personal business setup, so
Right.
I don't know if we can advise you, and we're certainly not advising
Right.
you to
I
do that.
understand.
But I hear what you're saying. I mean, I'll say this: I've decided I don't need my tax professional, but I don't necessarily have overly complicated situation where that would even be an
Mhm.
issue.
Well,
Um,
and sorry.
Go ahead. You're good.
And ours used to be, but we have gotten rid of some of those things that caused some of that. So at this point, it's pretty, I feel like, fairly straightforward. And I've done it for years. So, I mean, I don't think it would be an issue. So this will probably be the last year of that. And I'm going to be curious to see how his reaction is when I let him know, hey, we also have this, and this was paid in this year. So he may opt to not do it this year. But thank you all very, very much for all of your support and tidbits. I am extremely grateful for all of you, because I am always learning from you all, and it means the world to me. And I yield. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll just say one more thing on that. It's like, um, I think that once you get to a certain level of knowledge and understanding about what exactly that CPA is doing, and if you reach a point where you're like, well, maybe it's not that complicated. I have enough knowledge and experience. I understand how I can organize a lot of this stuff through various e-filing platforms, whatever. It's an option. It's an option. Um, but yeah, I wish you luck in considering that as a possibility. And follow what you think is right for you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I think sometimes I just need to hear that, a little bit of reassurance, because I have done it. I've actually
Yeah,
worked
it's
in that
not.
capacity at one
in,
point.
in other
So
words,
I,
you've done it before.
yes,
The idea, you got a CPA hoping to make life better. If they're frustrating you, and it's it's not the craziest idea to get rid of your CPA. But
yeah,
again, I can't say much more than that. It's not
thank
insane.
you.
Okay. All right, guys, we got maybe 20 minutes left. Get these hands up. How's everyone else doing in the unmuted section? We got two sections here. Okay. I could start mocking people, pressuring them to raise their hands if you guys want. What are you, chicken? Oh, you guys are chicken. Oh, I see. I understand. Here we go. Peace, God, we trust. Welcome, sir.
Peace. Tech, Kim Marie. I'm on the streets moving around, so I'm gonna keep it nice and sweet. My gratitude is always being able to open my eyes every day and do more paperwork. Um, some failures is always good because I get a chance to redo it again and make sure it's done right. I want to mainly talk to my group, Peace, God We Trust, and God We Trust. Next week, Monday, I will be doing a live on where you guys are at this moment in time. But until then, I love everybody. I'm always listening, always recording in my head and on my phone. So peace, love, and don't give up.
Thank you, Indigenous. Shout outs to the Peace God We Trust group. Okay. I got nothing, guys. We're just gonna
Hey,
sit here.
just so you guys know that Peace God We Trust is an affiliate of Recouper, so that's why he can come in and state that he's doing a live on his group and all of that. He is an approved affiliate. So just wanted to make sure that was clear of why he was able to do that.
Yeah, he's just giving a shout out to
Right.
his group there.
Right. So
Nothing.
the reason why I mentioned this is because in the top of the hour, I mentioned that you're not supposed to be posting your links to your groups and all of that stuff. So I wanted to bring clarity, make sure I said that.
Yep. Yep. Good stuff.
But he's approved,
All right,
so
we're
he
gonna
can
go.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wayne, welcome, Wayne M. Please unmute. Wayne M. Please unmute. Paging Wayne M.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Welcome, Wayne.
Hey, thank you. One thing that was mentioned a little bit ago was that in order to submit ES and Vs, you should be working. What about those that have turned 18 or that age that are in college? Is that a legitimate activity to consider that part of the economy?
I don't know if there ever was it ever said that you have to be working in order to do estimated payments? I don't think that's the case.
Okay, maybe, and the reason I'm asking is maybe I misunderstood. It sounded like clearly if you have a job to keep going, it was mentioned about you want to keep your job for a little bit just so that it doesn't crash the system and it doesn't look like everyone's going on welfare. Or
That's just the dividend. That's just the $5,000 dividends that are incoming.
Okay.
And that's really a notification, a good fair warning in advance to anyone who might be of working age, who happens to be on emergency assistance or some kind of welfare assistance for their family. They can be assured that there will be dividend checks coming in if, in fact, they are able to work, not disabled. They will be able to receive way more than they're getting on welfare right now if they can just work part-time in their community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't really apply to the college kids, 18, 20 or whatever.
So thank you for asking that deeper. So what I've read so far is that the qualifications are hold on 1 second. It just popped in. Let me just give me a second. That was working age, and then it was college age. You said tax pay. Okay, the two caveats: working age. If you don't have a job, get a part-time one, and that taxpayers of record would be able to qualify for the $5,000 a month dividend checks, which is a return of interest that you, your parents, whoever paid into the system, they would qualify if you can show that you've paid a tax or at least reported, an ES and a V, whether you filed a return or not. Some people that are on welfare, they don't even have to file a return. But by filing the ESs and Vs, Wayne, we got everybody qualified and back in the game as what you would call a tax contributor. Not necessarily a taxpayer, but what did we just do? We use the tax apparatus to recoup and put ourselves back in the game as a contributor to our community as what? Coming forward to now pay the blue card person. So we don't have to go get on welfare. Does that make sense?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for helping us really bring clarity to that. That's a very important distinction. So taxpayers will qualify for the $5,000 a month. If you're of working age and not on disability and all that, you have to show proof that you at least have a part-time job and you're coming off of the welfare state. Remember, because the welfare state might be going away. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they're giving fair warning to let everybody know, hey, unless you're on SSI, unless you're retired, unless you are truly disabled, okay, and the state's taking care of your basic necessities, okay. If you're a college student and the father, let's say, is still claiming the son as a dependent, let's say, the college student, I think being in school, proof of being in school, is uh, um, uh, uh, you're qualified to receive that stipend, because even if it's your dad that's claiming you, your dad, someone in your family paid the tuition to have you in school, which shows evidence of what? Someone's responsible in the family for having their children, working age, either in school learning a trade or contributing and working at a gas station in their community. Does that make sense? As far as logically speaking?
Sure, and more training is just going to mean more economic value in the future when you graduate.
Correct.
So,
Correct. If you can't hurt us, if you can't help our economy, don't hurt us.
mhm.
Which is what our message is to the bankers and the gatekeepers and the people who have been found wanting, that couldn't balance their budget for the last 150 years, rather continued to print money and foment wars in our name without our consent, involved us in unconscionable contracts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So if you can't help us, don't fucking hurt us, right?
And then the ones who aren't claimed, I want to bring that up too, the ones who aren't claimed and that they've gone out and gotten these loans, quote unquote, right? That's their money that comes back to them because that was always their mana. That's number one. Number two, that being can get a sole prop and start working for yourself while you're educating yourself, because you're not being you're taking care of the blue card person even when you're in the training. So there's two sides of that coin as well. Some folks don't have dependency as they've gone back to school either.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Robin. And Wayne, if you had anything you wanted to finish with, I just had to mute your mic. It was a little loud on your end.
Oh no, just making sure that a student in full time, college or trade or whatever,
Yeah.
is actually being productive in my opinion. So there's
Well, right. And when someone's in school, how it actually shows up to the treasury on the dad who's paying the tuition, and the kids at school 6 months out of the year, home for the holidays, right? Well, the father, the household head of household, let's say, okay, would be filing a Schedule C in order to get back all that tuition, get back all the gas, get back all the car payments that the father is actually contributing generously to the state where that particular student might be in school, right? So in order for you to get back your cookies, because you're sponsoring that student and you're claiming him as a dependent, but why not recoup? All we ever had to do was really report it on a Schedule C, right? And now the state is aware that the student is in school and the father is reporting that child as a dependent still because he's in school. And the tax write-off is for purposes of what? Attach your Schedule C. Tell us where Wayne spent the funds. Was it in Michigan because he's in school in Michigan? Is that where you're paying the rent for your son? Well, attach a Michigan return. Let the father, the federal of the covenant, know, hey, I paid for my kid's car. I registered his car. I paid his tuition in Missouri. So yeah, we have some expenses and we're due a state return now out of Missouri. And that all shows up on the Schedule C, as if I were to go through Wayne's bank statements and go, oh, he spent money here, he spent money here. Oh, there's 2 state returns on here. Let me go ahead and attach that. He's due and owing now from the state of Missouri, where he was taking care of his son so that his son didn't have to get when maybe his son didn't have a scholarship, let's say, okay, scholarship usually pays for all that. But if his son didn't maybe didn't have a dad, like me, I had to apply for a Pell Grant when I went to beauty school, for instance. And essentially that was helping me pay for all of my school studies and whatnot. And when I filed my taxes at the end of the year, you know, it was all showing out of my bank statements back when things were really simple, right? So the state just needs to know that you contributed to a particular area. You didn't offshore the funds. You're not laundering money. You're not one of the terrorists that are listed on the naughty list, if you know what I mean. Okay.
So what if one of the one of these college age kids on their own? Would it make sense to have them support themselves, quote unquote,
Free
with the
tax,
ESVs?
yeah, Free Tax USA. A lot of times
Yeah.
they're getting paid their allowance on Cash App. They can go ahead and file their own return through Cash App, or they can go on Free Tax USA and feel the power. You know, maybe they can receive the gift. Their dad gave them, you know, a 1099 miscellaneous. And that's a $18,000 this year, $18,000 deduction against any expenses that they choose to report on a Schedule C, right? It's
No, I
just
mean
their
if
blue
they're on
card
their
person.
if they're just on their own, why not just be head of household?
Well, what you
Because you
want
have
to do, Wayne, is you want to
wait. Hold on. Let me answer. Because head of household would mean that they would have to show a qualified dependent that they were taking care of.
Which means they need a sole prop
A sole prop, but yes,
or
but
whatever.
And a dependent.
yeah, a dependent. Yep. And then you'd have to work all that out yourself. Yep. I did try to make my blue card person my dependent, and that's just a whole little rabbit hole you're welcome to go down, Wayne. But at the end of the day, the sole prop can pay the blue card person, full stop, super easy peasy, squares the circle every time, and the sole prop can fund all of the needs of the working adult, right? The teenager who's turned into an adult competent to contract. The sole prop with the same name can absolutely start even W-2ing the social or 1099ing the social all day long.
and that your generation is the one that's teaching the generation before to do all that, so that now you can teach that to your own father. It's a major gift, the young people that are coming in right now that know how to do this stuff.
All right, guys, we got about 7 minutes left. I think we're at the point where we'll need to start wrapping things up, and it might be good for anybody on the panel who wants to make a closing statement. I know Jeremy's not here this week, but if either Kim Marie or Dr. Heather or anyone else wants to say something to wrap things up, and then while we do that, if we could just, I think we're basically out of time in terms of bringing people up. But if there is one person who would like to volunteer to do a prayer at the very end before we close, we'll do that as well. So, yeah. I will, as usual, be getting a replay of this together. It should be available sometime this evening, but keep an eye on that recordings archive channel in the main RECOUPERS group. Would anyone from leadership like to say a few things?
I don't have any closing thoughts, just reminders that, get you a study buddy, whether you do it for your local state or someone that's in the groups that you feel connected to. Just DM them. Don't have conversations inside of the topic folders that could just be that's between you and another person. Just DM each other regarding connecting, and to study together, not to solicit. We also have those, the state ones that are there, but also the ones that are other affiliate groups like Peace stated, God in God we trust. So you can go to his group as well. So just continue to connect with each other, continue to study and to execute, and be a community and a support to one another. So that's all I had to say.
Yep. Everybody keep leveling up and make valuable use of your time. Learn how to hang out with the right people. And don't be fooled by people who are obviously scamming. Kimmery, anything else you wanted to add? We still need somebody to volunteer to do the prayer. Come on, guys. There's got to be somebody in the audience.
I'll pray.
I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming. And don't forget to go back and put an earbud in your ear and listen to the last 6 recoupers, testimonies, gratitudes. It'll inspire your day and really keep you motivated. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimmery, and thank you to everyone. Rhonda, I will take you up on that offer to close us out. But yeah, another Recoupers in the books. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Rhonda, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, dear Father. We come to you. We lay before your throne, Father. We just thank you for the blessings that you have given us through this group, Father. I just pray that your blessings would flow upon every single person and their families and generations to come through this Recoupers group, Father. And Lord, just allow us to connect, come together so that all of our eyes are opened the way that you want them to be open, Father, so that we can receive the many blessings that you have for us, all that you have in store for us, Father. We thank you and we praise you for the wonderful souls that you have provided on this earth and the connections that we have been allowed to make through your blessings. And we give you all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right.
Amen. Thank you.
Yep. We'll see everybody next
Have an
week.
amazing week.
Yep. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're on TikTok Live listening to testimonies also. So feel free to join us on TikTok. See you guys later.
All right.
Yep,
Take care.
We'll be back next Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, right here. See you guys then. Peace.